gay.
You're wearing the black shirt thing. You got the short
Do you really
haircut.
think we look gay? Now, our audience here is telling us that we've got to be a little bit careful about what we say because we look gay. I would like to say that I have been happily married for 31 years. I have 2 children.
To the same man.
To the same. Don't let my wife hear you say that. Ken is happily married. He's got 6 kids. No, we are not gay. So if anybody's asking...
Is that overcompensation?
That's right. All right, go ahead.
And if they came to our office, they would realize we're not. It may be...
That's
anyway.
Right. That's right.
So, here we're going to talk about large footprint sanders. And we've got a lot of, a wide array of options here available to you. Here I have 2 different manufacturers. I have Gem, which is probably the biggest name, I would say, really in large footprint sanders. They are probably without a doubt the best known. They've just been out there and they've been making a great product for a long time. So I really don't think I could say anything bad about Gem at all. They also have an incredible amount of accessories that go into it. We're all set to go. And as you can see, this hooks readily right up to the sander. It's got a fibrous dust skirt all the way around. And this is great because when you fire it up, you can see it runs very smooth. And it'll give you a great finish. This is a great tool to run. As you can see, I've got no dust.
Yeah, that's really nice dust recovery.
It's just great. And once again, that skirt makes a big difference. So this is certain. You can see, once again, its operation is so good that just by holding it by the hose, it's hovering in one spot.
One thing nice about these sanders is they're a low-profile sander. So you can go onto the job site, refinish a top, or finish a top the first time using the Festool dust collector. You got total dust collection. You don't have to worry about getting the homeowner's house filthy.
And as you can see, it's got great balance, great control, a great sander. Now it does, as with anything, anybody who makes a great product is going to end up with competition.
Right.
So
now this has a hard pad and a soft pad available for it as well, right?
That is correct, and a closed and a donut.
All right.
The benefit to a donut is, and I believe right on here we have a donut pad. Yep. The benefit to a donut pad,
plugged in,
such as you see right here, is that it's not going to create any pressure in the middle, so you're not going to get corn rolling from it.
Right.
So this is by far the most desirable type of pad.
Right.
And the Gem is available only in the Hook It 2. So if you want to use a paper other than Hook It 2, you'll have to get either a conversion pad or another whole different pad to operate with.
Right. We do have both of those.
And that's one.
All right, I'll take that out of your way.
All right. The next one is their competition in the marketplace. And it's different. It's not the same thing. It still does offer a dust skirt. As you can see, it's not fibrous.
Right.
It's just a hard lip. I don't think we got the pad on here. Unfortunately, in fairness to the manufacturer, we had to just change pads just before the show went on the air because the other pad had been damaged.
Yep.
And we didn't get it balanced on there as well as we should. If we did, it would pretty much hover just like the Gem.
Yes.
Perhaps the main difference between the two, the Gem certainly has far more accessories than this does. However, what makes this one a bit unique is...
Since this is live, we can't fix it right now.
That's true.
But that's all right. This is a great seller. And actually, this is our #1 selling large footprint sander. It really is. We sell a ton of these.
By removing this, this would allow me to get right up to a wall inside a residential application. I can get right up to a surface, whereas on the Gem or on any solid-bodied dust recovery, it's going to hold me away from the wall about a half an inch, which is enough to mean you have to get another sander to get in there to clean it up. So that's a great feature about this sander. So once again, it is different than the Gem. It's just a matter of making your choice as to what your preference is.
Right, and I've used these at shows, and I will attest to the fact that they do run just as smooth as the Gem does. It's a great sander, and unfortunately, we got started late here and didn't check that out before. But again, it's live TV, guys. It's the way it goes.
That's what makes it exciting.
That's right.
So what is it that you got over there? That is...
Well, I'm going to show this one next, but what I'd like you to do is, do we have another, can I have that large diameter hose over there?
Oh, here, you want to just take this one?
No, that's all right. Thanks, Joel.
You're welcome.
Okay. The large diameter hose on the festival works much better on these large footprint sanders. The air volume is much greater. We do recommend purchasing one of these hoses. They are expensive, but it's gonna make the tool last a long time.
And it is required by the manufacturer.
For dust collection, yes, and this is the best dust collection to have. Okay, this is the Circare SMF 200, and although this works on solid surface material without a problem, it was originally designed to sand rough sawn timber. So we'll give you an idea how it works here. Now this is what grit?
That is 40 on there.
40 grit on here. And this has a hard pad on it, so this is used for leveling the surface.
You're correct. That'll actually take the highs and the lows right out and essentially almost plane the wood down.
Right. Now we had a manufacturer of tabletops that told us that it literally took him 3 days to sand one order of tabletops, and he cut that to 1 day with one of these sanders, and he was just so pleased. He called us back and was very, very pleased with it. So this one has a random orbit. We didn't talk about that at all. This has a 19 millimeter random orbit, which is a large random orbit. It's very aggressive. These have a 3/4 inch random orbit as well. Now the next sander here is the Tetrad, and this doesn't have a pad on it. And where's our pad for this? Do we have
actually, no, we don't have one here.
No, we have one right there. Joel has it. But I don't know if we have 5-inch paper here.
Well, no, that's actually not it.
No, that's the 6-inch. Okay.
The only difference here really is essentially this is a smaller machine.
Right.
It has a 6 millimeter orbit as opposed to a 19 millimeter orbit. So
Right.
the difference is 19 millimeter would be 3/4 inch. 6 millimeter would be roughly about 1/4 inch, between 3/16 and 1/4 inch.
Yeah, and it's with this being 6 millimeter, one big advantage to this sander. There's a pad right there. Do we have some 5-inch Yoast paper? We probably do. You can probably dig some up there because I'd really like to show how well this works. These pads come on and off the sander very quickly with no tools. As you can see, Ken just put one on. And the reason it does that is this is a quick change pad, and you put one grit on each pad, so you can, if you're using 5 grits, you can just rip it off very quickly and put another pad back on with the right grit.
So you just go like that. And
Right.
the benefit to that is by changing the whole pad, this pad lasts longer because you don't wear out
Thank you, Joel.
you don't wear out the hooks as fast.
Right.
Also, your sandpaper lasts longer because you're not flexing the sheet and breaking off the media as much.
I don't have a cutter for this. We weren't really prepared on this, actually, because these are both brand new machines, but that's okay.
There's that right there. Here's a knife if you want. There's a cutter
Okay,
for you.
all right.
And once again, this easily you line up the holes and you push it right on. It goes right on that simply, and it's on. And of course, coming off is a single jerk motion. Once again, the machines are essentially the same. The difference is the weight and the orbital stroke. But what this will do,
And the ability to go on the job site. This one will go underneath cabinets very easily. And the biggest reason that I like this sander...
oop, we didn't have our safety device on, did we?
Yeah, that's turn that on, didn't you? Yeah, that's the on-off switch.
They've changed.
Yes.
Okay.
The random orbit on this is near the same as the
And of course, the big difference about these is the size of the area they cover.
Right. You can also use a handle like this on it. So if you're standing a large conference table or a large island deck or something, all you have to do is pass it back and forth. The weight of the machine does the sanding, so the finish is the same no matter who does the sanding, and that's important. If you're doing a 5-inch sander, the finish will be different with 1 or 2 different people.
Once again, The dust extraction is great.
Yep.
We weren't kicking up dust all over the air. And the other thing that was really nice about this too is that the ease of operating it just with the handle. Yep. Now, something that's very important that I know came up this week with the manufacturer, with this tool and that tool both, these are only for transporting it.
That's correct.
When you're operating it, you only operate this from the crown or with the handle.
Right.
Because it has a center vertical point of balance, and by grabbing this, you immediately throw it out of balance. Right. Which causes it to slave. It'll burn out the PVC plate and ruin the pad.
Right. Okay, very quickly, I see we're running out of time here. Now, I don't know why I say that, because we're on the internet and we got all the time in the world, but I'm sure all the people that are helping us here want to get going. So let's move on to this one. This is air. Okay, this is a 16-inch. This is really getting big. I don't know how much bigger they can get. This is a 16-inch sander. This one is air operated. Just put that on there. Okay, just hand me some hose here. The sander is really great for doing large areas. Now, I don't know if we don't have enough air consumption, this thing's a lot slower than the electric model. But as you can see, it's a very flat finish. So for doing large panels, it's just great. Mm-hmm. Now, the electric model is pretty much the same. I think it's got a little bit more power, to be honest with you. This is powered by a fine grinder motor. Again, it's got 45 holes. Dust collection is wonderful. This one actually sucks down to the countertop. You feel the power difference. There's so many holes it actually sucks to the countertop.
So you're saying that really sucks?
Yes. I know that the manufacturer sells these a lot for doing side panels of motorhomes and truck panels and things like that, large surfaces, because the vacuum is so great on it that they can just pass it back and forth and hold it up. But I know we've kind of gone through everything very quickly tonight, but we've had to. We had a lot to cover, and we just want to thank you for being with us.
Well, we actually have a couple questions.
Oh, yeah, a couple of questions. I'm sorry.
The two footprint sanders look the same. What are the differences? We are talking about, the gems.
The gems. Okay,
we're talking about the gem and the hyper sander, which that's a good question. The difference really is a matter of more style. One has a fibrous skirt, the other one has a hard skirt at the bottom. One's removable, one isn't. One has more accessories. One doesn't. One's hook it to, one's hook it. Yep. It's going to come down to preferences. There's a dollar amount difference, but it seems that the people that want gem really want gem. Right. And sometimes people that are looking to save a few bucks will, take maybe a little less in some ways and features, but they'll get a tool that'll give them the same finish, but just for less money. Right.
Now, I know one question that did come up is people said, why don't you do specials while you're having the show? And actually, that was one of the points of the show, was that for the viewers that are watching, there are specials available. If you go to our website, we have there's a coupon code that you use when you check out, and the coupon code for this week is 103006, and what that code's going to do is it's going to give you 10% off any one of the sanders except the Festool. Now, we explained earlier that we don't discount Festool at all. But if you do order Festool, we are offering a free T-shirt with your order, which is great compensation. Great T-shirt to have. It's really nice. But all the other tools that we've shown here tonight, just use the coupon code 103006 when you're checking out, and that special will be good through Monday night of next week till we bring on next week's show. Mm-hmm. And next week, we've got, what do we have?
Next week, we're talking about the Veritux coving router, which I'm really excited about.
That,
I think, will allow a lot of guys to get into the coving that were intimidated by the price of the tool before. Yep. And it is so much easier to operate that I don't see why you'd want to spend the big bucks anyway. And
we're also going to cover the Festool plunge saw next week. So I think next week will be a half-hour show. I don't think we're going to run long. for everybody.
Something we forgot. Oh, my goodness. What were we going to end the show with? What is it that made me swear off of belt sanders forever?
Oh, gosh. Oh, real quick.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
man, let's get this stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Here, hand me that. Let's get this out of the way.
Out of the way.
While you do that, I'm going to start talking about this because I have fallen in love with this tool.
Hose on the back.
This tool right here is a grinder made by Festool.
Yep.
And let's see, we'll go ahead and use this. And John introduced me to this when we were moving into our new offices and we'd made our own countertops. And I had to do a lot of scribing, much as a gentleman earlier asked us about scribing material. I had never tried this before, but I tried their grinder. And I'll tell you what, this thing is a monster. I was scribing material, I would say comfortably, at least 2 to 3 times the rate and speed of a belt sander. It was phenomenal. This thing, you just, once again, a simple switch you turn on. But what it'll do, and it's got a gear-driven adjusting shield, so you don't have to get dust, but it'll take down.
Can you get a close-up of that? Can you see that?
Look at that removal.
Taking it off in a second.
I can go right here to this square area. And I put there, that is a 1/2-inch face bevel.
Yep.
That's how much material. That ate off in just seconds.
Yep.
So this will scribe a top in absolutely no time. Now the dust removal on this, I'll tell you up front, is not that great.
Nope. But it's a lot better than not having it at all.
The difference is that this is removing so much material so quickly,
right,
and it is so aggressive that this tool for scribing solid surface, for scribing wood, for working with cultured marble, anything that you want to grind or scribe is, in my opinion, absolutely the only way to go.
Yep.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
You know, I thought that you just remembered that. It's on the teleprompter.
I know, but don't tell anybody. But this is the RAS 115.04E. It's Festool's grinder, and I'm telling you, this is this is really the only tool to have,
yep,
without any question.
Yep.
So I hated to be so abrupt at ending the show with that, but what a great way to end the show.
Doesn't it feel like it wants to spin off the edge? Seems hard to control.
Oh, it is. That's because I was being very aggressive with it, though.
Very aggressive, but you can use it like this, and you can grind with it delicately as well. So if you're scribing, all you have to do is touch it. Ken was just grinding on it like crazy, but you don't have to do that. Very easy to control. Now you're not going to use it flat. You're going to use it on the edge. Just like that. So you can grind off this in no time at all. So you can see, no, it is not.
It's only as hard to control as you make it.
Does the grinder work well for grinding the flashing cultured marble with 24 grit? I see absolutely no reason why not. It would be awesome for that. You just don't want to use it in a wet location, but if you're doing cultured marble, absolutely great.
Well, a lot of field scribing, once again, the tool is...
I don't know what grit this is that's on here.
That feels like about 50. That's probably about a 50 grit on there. It's pretty coarse.
That's a 50 grit.
But I'll tell you, before I went to a real coarse paper, I would try some of the 50 and around the 50.
It's so aggressive. It's just a great. It's a great sander, and yes, it can be precise. Someone is asking. I mean, I really can't show you. I mean, if we drew a line here, you could actually sand it to the line. Same with the solid surface, so that wouldn't be a problem.
Which is what I did when we were scribing our jobs in the field, when we were installing our tops at the office. I easily was able to follow scribe lines and get it to follow the walls perfectly. What is the lever for on the side of the tool? The green lever on the side? I have no idea. No, other side?
This lever?
That's only the, I think that's the replacement side for the gear-driven. So you can swap the lever to one side or the other, is it not?
Nope. You know, I have no idea. But, you know, this raised and lowered, locked in. I'm not sure why. Let's see what happens when you turn it on. I have no idea.
But it looks
Question
cool.
for next week.
But it looks cool.
Oh, and Festal's probably going, I can hear Christian right now. You should know about the tools before you show them. Now, we'll have to figure out what that's for. It's a lock of some kind. And I think it might be just to make this rotate easier or lock the handle in place.
But we don't know.
We don't know, and this goes all the way around. So anyway, that's our show for tonight, isn't it? We
And
all done now?
And it's been a blast. I tell you, we covered an awful lot of tools. Hopefully we'll do this every week for.
Yep, and we want to thank everybody that's here, all our crew, for helping us tonight. And we want to thank all of our viewers. Want to thank you for the kind emails. We really think the show is going to get off the ground without a hitch. It's really great. So, thanks much, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.